in cloud deployment, guys, there are multiple challenges which anybody will be facing in cloud. They said like we have a challenge of deploying the rollout across the multiple geographical location. All right, we have issues with the debugging deployments. We have challenges. These are not issues, but these are the challenges which one can face. Challenges as in these are the challenging tasks, like, and whatever you're doing with your resources, documenting them all, updating the live servers, like the servers are running and we need to update them, having the ability to manage a rollback, okay, managing dependencies on system and subsystem, and deploying a repeatable and identical environments. Now these are some of the challenges which they said will which they said will be which they said will be challenges for anyone to, who is working on the cloud. Now they said we there are multiple challenges which one will be facing on cloud, like updating your live server. Now servers are running, you need to update them. Managing the dependencies of the application which are running on your server. Managing the debugging issues. All right. Setting up the patches, debugging the resources, deploying the same or replica environment. Okay. If anything goes wrong, having an ability to roll them back. Whatever changes you are making, whatever you have been managing, rolling it back. So to resolve these issues or to resolve these challenges, we have multiple tools in AWS, and many of such we have been discussing yesterday also, like your cloud formation, your system manager, your ops work. Right. Now we have one of the tool. We have the one of the tool which is cloud formation, which is helping us in resource deployment, in managing the resource. One second, guys. Why do you have? Before this, we have discussed what are the challenges which one will be facing in the cloud today, like rollback challenges, deployment challenges, replica environment challenges, right? And managing challenges, debugging challenges. So there are multiple challenges. For all these challenges, we have a different tools in AWS, like we have a cloud formation, we have a system manager, which we have already discussed initially when we start AWS topics. We have ops work also, that also we have discussed. Now the most important, the cloud formation. Now what cloud formation do, guys? Cloud formation allows us to create the resource, to manage the resource, to update the resource, and to delete the resource also. So now cloud formation is not only helping us in creating the resource, it has also been helping us in managing the resource. Okay. Now let's move on with the cloud formation. Now talking about cloud formation, guys, cloud formation models and provision your cloud infrastructure resources. Now whatever resources we have in AWS cloud, right, whatever infrastructure we have in cloud formation help us in managing them. Okay. AWS cloud formation is a powerful tool, they said. Powerful tool for what? Infrastructure as in code, which we have been discussing since yesterday. Infrastructure as a code. Now infrastructure as a code is service provided by the AWS. Cloud formation is a part of it. It allows user to model and provision the cloud infrastructure. Now when I said model and provision the cloud infrastructure, guys, modeling infrastructure means it allows us to define our cloud infrastructure, right? And yesterday when we have been discussing, we have discussed that JSON and YML is a declarative language. Now cloud formation, what we do, actually we create a stack. Stack we create with the help of a template. What is a template? Template is nothing but a text file. A text file having a codes written in the form of either JSON or YML. Right? Your code will be either the JSON code or the YML code. Supports most of the AWS services. Now, CloudFormation support most of the AWS services. Like you can create the EC2 instances, you can create the RDS instances, you can create your buckets, you can create your networking profiles and all using the CloudFormation. Okay, using those template, which are a text file written either in JSON or YML. We can create, update, delete a set of resources as a single unit called stack. Now, CloudFormation is the name of the services, guys. Okay, CloudFormation is the name of the services. Now, under CloudFormation, what we do? We create a stack. We manage a stack. So, CloudFormation is just a name for the service. Under CloudFormation, guys, what we can do? We can create a set of resources. When I said set of resources, that means if I'm creating a VPC, I need to create the subnets. I need to create your internet gateway. I need to create your route tables and all, right? So these all are the resources for me. So completely, it will call a set of resources. So how I will be create these resources? I will create a stack. Okay, I will create a stack. Stack I will create with the help of guys the template, which is written either in JSON or YML. That template will, what is that template? That template is a text file which has the codes written. Okay. And using that template, I will create a stack. The moment I will create the stack, those resources will get created. Like I will create a VPC stack. So VPC get created in my AWS account. The moment I will delete my stack, the VPC will get deleted. The moment I will update my stack, the VPC get updated. And through the stack, I will be managing these resources. Okay. We will show you the demonstration and we have a lab about it also. So you don't have to worry about it. All right. Now, support for AWS services. CloudFormation do support multiple AWS resources or multiple AWS services. We can create them, delete them, update them, manage them through the CloudFormation stack. Again, I am telling you, CloudFormation is the name of your service. Stack is the name of your what you have been creating there to create your resource. Now, CloudFormation also detects the changes called drift on a stack and individual resources. Now, there is something called a drift. What is a drift, guys? Drift is something which we have been discussing yesterday also. Now, CloudFormation, what it do? It detects the changes that will make the stack or individual resources over the time. The capability called a drift detection. What is drift detection? Drift detection help users like you and me who is working on CloudFormation stack to identify the configuration changes that we are making on our resources. All right, like we have a VPC, right? Now we want to update the VPC. Let's say I want to add 2 more subnet to my VPC. The VPC is same. I have what I did. I create a VPC using the stack first. Okay. Now I told you that CloudFormation is not only helping you to create the resource, but also to update the resource. Now I want to update my resource I want to add 2 more subnet to my VPC. So for that, I will again write a code or I will have an existing template to update my resource. Now when I will be applying that or when I will be using it to update my resources, I can actually see the changes that it will be implemented on my VPC. I can see the changes that this template will about to make in my VPC. Like I have a updated template with me. What I will do, I will upload it in my stack to update my resource. So what this cloud formation facilitates you guys, it allows you to see the changes in your resources before you have been applying that template into your stack. Okay, that this template which I am using to update my stack, what changes it will make to my resources. If you are okay with the changes, you can implement it. Okay, like this, cloud formation offers us multiple. Like this, cloud formation help us with multiple other facilities also that we will see over the time. Now here there are few things which you need to understand. Now stack, as I told you, stack is what? Stack is what you will be creating in your cloud formation. Template is nothing but a text file having the code written either in JSON or YML to create your resource. So it will have a template, will have a code written, a text file code written. Change set, as I told you, we can always preview the potential changes that will be executed on my. So if I am about to make any changes, I can actually view the changes it will be making. So there are three things which you have to remember: change set, template, and stack. Okay, change set is a preview of potential changes which it make to your resources. Template is nothing but a text file which have the codes written either in JSON and YML. And then we have a stack which we create to do the, or to create the resource, guys. Now here is your AWS cloud formation terminology. Cloud formation, as I told you, is the name of the services. Okay, what we do in cloud formation, guys, we create a stack. How will I create a stack, guys? Stack I will create using the help of template. So I can create the stack with the help of template. I can update the stack with the help of template, and I can delete this stack. Now creating this stack will create the resources. Updating this stack will update the resources, and deleting this stack will delete the resources. Getting it? These are the various resources which you can create, like DynamoDB, RDS, Instant, Glacier, buckets, and all VPCs. So I can create a multiple resources in AWS using the cloud formation. Cloud formation is the name of the services under which we have been using the template. Template is nothing but it's a text file written in either JSON and YML, which is about the instruction to create the resource. I will show you that sample of it in some time also. Then we have a collection of your AWS resources. What is a stack? Stack we create with the help of template. Stack we will create with the help of the template. Stack is a collection of your AWS resources that are created and managed as a single unit in a stack. Now, stack, as I told you, we will be creating with the help of a template. Stack is nothing but a collection of your AWS resources that are created with the help of template. Under the stack, we will create the stack. Creating the stack will create the resources. We will manage the resources in the stack itself. Stack is a collection of resources that are created and managed as a single unit. Okay. Now, guys, we have been talking about the template. Template is quite important, right? Template. Now, template, as I told you, will be written in the form of your template will be either in your JSON or YML. Now we have here the template structure, guys. Template will have a parameters, template will have a mapping, template will have a resources, template will have outputs. Now talking about the parameters are input in your templates. Parameters are input in your template. We define these parameters as we in parameters we will be defining the let's say instance type, the key pair, the subnets. So parameter are something where or which we will be defining. Parameters are defined in the beginning of the template, right? Parameters are defined in the beginning of the template. Now parameters are defined at the beginning of a template, and we can use this parameter as a reference later, right? We can use these parameters as a reference later. Then we have a mapping, guys. We have a mapping in the template. Now what is mapping in the template, guys? Mapping is something where we define the section of a specific designated, like I can define mapping, like I can define US West 1, US West 2, US West, like this. And the AMI ID, you know that in a different region the AMI ID will be different. So let's say I have been creating a EC2 instance, and I have created I have provided in mapping, I have given you the different region and same AMI with a different AMI ID in different region. So when I will be creating the resource, I will map the resource with the region, and the AMI ID will be selected as based on the region. Each mapping when I will create consists of a key and a set of the names. Like I will be defining it. Okay. Now the third one is the resources. Resources are the resources which I will be creating, the assets I will be creating. Like I will be creating your EC2 instance, I will be creating your VPC, I will creating your RDS instance, I will be creating your DynamoDB, or whatever I will be creating. Under the resources, we provide the assets to create. Initialization are the custom application to run during the startup. Then we have a wait condition also. We use some wait condition in our template sometime to make this in stack to wait. Let's say I know that when my EC2 instance created, the instance needs some time to fully initialized, right? The 2x2 checks take some time, like 2 minutes. So wait condition I will give to my stack to wait for that certain time and then get created. That is, I have been asking the stack to wait for, let's say, the particular seconds, 300 seconds, so that instance get fully initialized by that time. The moment this template will create the instance, okay, but instance will not create immediately. Instance will take some time to get fully initialized, right? To fully boot up, initialize completely, instance will take some time. Now when the instance will take some time to get fully initialized, I provide the wait signal or wait condition in my template so that the stack will take some time to get created. Output are the values of the custom resources, the output are the values of the resources which I have been creating in the template. That can be URLs, usernames, and others in the template. Okay. Now what we will do, we will discuss them one by one. First, we will discuss the parameter, or let me show you the parameter. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Just a moment. One moment, please. Okay. Next is I will come to your parameters, and I will come back to your templates. First, let's see how we or what resources we will be using to create these templates. Now templates, guys, I have told you that templates we will be creating using the help of the, or templates we will be creating in the text file. Okay, that text file can be any text file using Notepad, or using any editor we can write the text file, right? They said we have a different ways to write a template. Template we can use a cloud formation template editor, which cloud formation will provide us. We can have Visual Studio or Eclipse. We can use third-party tools, or we can use a text editor which has a JavaScript or JSON plugins. So we can, that will be a text file where we will be writing the JSON. So we can use the text editor, we can use this Visual Studio which has support for the JSON and YML. We can use any third-party tools like Notepad++ which has support for JSON and YML. Or any text editor we can use to write this template. Even the cloud formation also provides us the option to write or edit the template. So it is there in the cloud formation itself. So we can use anything, any editor to write that template, which will be the text file which has the codes written in JSON and YML about the creation of the resource. Okay, so you can use any one. We do have a design templates, guys. AWS Cloud Formation also give us the option to design your template. Now, how many of you remember about the, which one? That one, guys. Does any one of you remember about the AWS step function? Anyone remember step function? What is the step function, guys? No one remember the step function? Yes, no one remember about the step function, guys.
No, sir.
Don't you remember step function allows us to visualize our code, state machine, different states, drag and drop, create a workflow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
यस सर, तो याद कौन रखेगा उनको, ऐसे तो तुमको कुछ याद ही नहीं होगा फिर.
I remember, sir. I remember.
Only Adnan remember, no one else remember.
सर वहाँ पे हम अब ब्लॉक से कोड बनता है सर, स्टेप बाय स्टेप, तो हम वहाँ पे विजुलाइज कर सकते हैं आसानी से अगर कोई स्टेप हमारी गलत हो जाती है तो सर.
So AWS step function is a serverless architecture to manage the workflow of your application. Okay. Anyways, this is now you people are habitual to that. So this one AWS Cloud Formation Designer is somehow similar to your step function. The difference is it is for the application workflow. This AWS Cloud Formation Designer help us in writing the template for the cloud formation. Now, how do you write the template? You can write the code and you can visualize your code as well. Or if you are good with drag and drop, you can do the drag and drop also. So similar to, it's not a same, it's similar to the step function. Some common things are there, like creating a workflow, doing drag and drop, or visualizing your code. So we have this cloud formation designer also, using which you can design your resource, or you can write the code and visualize your workflow. You can see the visual of your code also. So cloud formation 2 gives that option also when you are writing the template. It gives you the multiple option for the template, guys. You can write the template while you have been creating the stack. You can use any existing template. That means if you have already written the template and it is stored in S3 bucket or in your local system, you can use the existing template also. Or you can use the existing template also, or you can use the predefined templates also. So it gives you multiple options. We can launch and delete the stacks. The moment we will launch the stack, the resource will get created. The moment we delete the stack, the resource will get removed also. Okay, so let's say I create a stack, a network stack, a VPC stack. So the moment I will create the stack, guys, my resource will also get created, my VPC will also get created, and the moment I delete the stack, my VPC will also get deleted. How I will launch and delete the stack? There are multiple ways. I can go to the management console and I can launch a stack. I can launch and delete the stack using the AWS CLI also, or I can do it through the APIs. Okay, so we can do multiple ways to create or to delete the stack. Okay, to launch and stack, we can do it through the management console, we can do it through the APIs, or we can do it through the CLI commands. Okay, if an error is encountered when you launch a template, all resources are rolled back by default. Now guys, yesterday also I was telling you this. Let's say you have been creating a resource, and if in case anything goes wrong in that template, let's say you have been creating a VPC and your VPC get created, your subnets get created, your route table get created, but somehow internet creation got failed, subnet association got failed, but the VPC is already created, the subnets are already created. Somehow at last portion or last lines, last few lines in your code got failed. So what will happen by default? If your template got failed, by default it will roll back the resources. So whatever VPC or subnets are created, it will also get rolled back or deleted, removed, because the template is failed at the last one. So resources which got earlier created will be rolled back. If in case I don't want that rollback, let's say I said whatever resources are created, I will be doing other things manually. So if you want to avoid the rollback, you can optionally avoid the rollback also. Okay, anyways, if the template failed, it will always roll back the resources which are created. And if in case you want to avoid this, you can avoid this by hyphen do nothing in the CLI, or by disabling the automatic rollback in management console. Okay, so we have that option. By default, if you don't do anything, it will roll back the moment your template got failed. Now the parameters, as I was telling you, that parameters, what are the parameter are something, are inputs, the inputs which we have been giving. What are parameters, guys? Parameters are the input which we have been giving. Now if you see that we are using the parameters here, parameters as in I will be providing the VPC, I will be providing the, what do you call it, the CIDR block and everything here. So parameters are the inputs which we will give to our template, and your template start with the parameters always. Okay. Template start with the parameters. Parameters enable us to input the custom values. Okay, each time we create or update the stack. Okay, parameter allows us to input the custom values whenever we are creating this template. Okay, it allows us to put the values or to customize the values. Now there are sometimes we do have a pseudo parameters, guys. Like you have a pseudo, right? Sometimes we do have a pseudo parameters. What are the pseudo parameters? Pseudo parameters are predefined system-wide parameters. Like your regions are predefined, right? Regions and region codes are predefined, right? In the cloud for in the AWS region, every region has already a region code has been given. So regions are predefined in AWS. So those can be a pseudo parameters. Here with the VPC, I will be customizing the value, right? Here in the VPC, I will be giving a custom values. And when I will be giving the custom value, I will call them optional parameters. But some parameters are called pseudo parameters. In pseudo parameters, the values are predefined like in your regions. Okay. Now we have something called a reference parameter. Now what is the reference parameter, guys? Let's say I have write a code, and the first thing that will be doing, it will be creating the VPC, then it will create a subnet. but then that subnets needs to be created in the same VPC, right? But VPC haven't created yet. So what I will do, instead of when it will ask me the VPC ID, I will give the reference and I will write the parameter name. Like here, I have this parameter VPC CIDR. So whenever it will ask me VPC CIDR in coming blocks of code, I will be using this VPC CIDR parameter as a reference. Get it? Like I have given here a key pair, but key pair haven't been created yet. Key pair haven't created yet, right? Because I'm just writing the block of code. I haven't implemented them. So when I will implement it, it will create the VPC. Then only I will get the VPC ID. So what I can do, whenever it will ask me the VPC ID, I can use this reference parameter. Okay, let me show you the example also. I have one example. Now guys, see here. This is an example of a template. Okay. This is what language is this, guys? Can you recognize which one is this? Either this is JSON or YML. Which one is this?
Sir, YML, sir.
YML.
Very good. Now see, I have been creating this VPC, right? But I'm just writing the code here. I have a different blocks of code here. Now here, after my VPC get created, guys, I have to create these public subnets also. When I will create public subnet, it will ask me what is the VPC, in which VPC shall I create this subnet. Then I have to provide the VPC ID there. But at the moment, I'm just writing the codes. My VPC haven't get created yet, right? My VPC haven't get created yet. I'm creating the code. So what I will do, wherever it will ask me the VPC ID, I will use a reference. Here you can see, whenever it will ask me VP, I will use a reference VPC. Reference VPC. Reference VPC. Wherever I need. Now here it was asking me subnet ID, because subnet haven't created yet. What I am doing, I am making a subnet and route table association. Subnet haven't created yet, so it will ask me subnet ID or route table ID. I will use a reference subnet. Reference. Get it?
You said that if we get any error message, it will throw us the error, like the something is happening, like at the end, in the earlier step.
No, let me tell you. The reference is clear, right? No. Pseudo parameter also. I'm coming to you. Like the pseudo parameter, I have already told you the predefined. Like your AWS regions are predefined. So the predefined parameters are pseudo parameters. Okay. Now mapping we will do tomorrow, guys. Okay. Because mapping we will do tomorrow. I have to take your attendance and let me resolve this Lalita issue. Lalita doubt also. This is define mapping. From mapping we will discuss tomorrow. Now coming to you, Lalita.
Yes, sir.
Let me.
Like it will throw the error, and we need to stop right there by running the command to what? We roll back, stopping the rollback, sir.
No, I'll tell you. See, this is my code. Okay. Now my code goes block by block. Okay, Lalita. First, it will create the VPC. Then it will create the internet gateway. Then it will attach the internet gateway. Like things are happening like this, right? So, what I am telling, what I was about to tell you is, let's say these block of code works. This is do you remember the interpreter and the compiler? The interpreter will implement the things line by line. Compiler will do all at once.
Yes, sir.
So what it happen? It will keep creating these resources side by side. All these blocks are successfully implemented. All these blocks are now somehow let's say when I will be creating this public route table, I have error in this block. Okay, but these private subnet, public subnet, internet gateway, these have been already created, and I got issue with my fifth block or sixth block. But before that, my previous blocks has already been created in my AWS. Now, what happen if in case the error will come in my template in the sixth block, the already fifth block which are already been implemented, they will roll back if in case my template fail at the last blocks. But the initial previous block which already get created, resources which already get created because of these blocks, what will happen, it will automatically roll back, delete those resources, because at the sixth block I have an issue, and because my template fails now. So CloudFormation has this default ability that it will roll back the resources which has been previously created. Now, what I was telling you, that if in case you don't want to roll back the things, let's say you said, okay, my five, because of my these 4 or 5 blocks, my 4 resources are already created, let me create this public route table manually, or let me create this manually. So if you want to avoid the rollback, you can do that by manually disabling the automatic rollback.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
We do it through the CLI, or else you said that we have 2 ways.
You can do it. You have to do it if you are doing this through the management console. You have to manually disable it. If you have been doing through the CLI, you have to write the option -- do nothing. And if you are doing through the API, we have to mention that -- do nothing even in the API also. So we have to do, because by default CloudFormation nature is to roll back. But if you want to avoid, we have to mention whatever form we are using, management console, CLI or API, whatever we have to mention there, don't do anything.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Very good. Now, guys, from mapping, defining mapping in template, that what is mapping, we will take this further tomorrow. Okay, from mapping in the template, we will take the mapping tomorrow. As of now, let me have your attendance.